episode of this.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
Yes, he joins us once again, winevaulttv.com. That's where you'll find him doing all the videos and whatnot. Jason Bryant, the Wine Vault on Twitter as well. G'day there, Jason.
Good morning, Wammo. How are you?
Very, very, very well. And just very briefly, you went to something quite cool last night.
I did, and I've got to mention it. I went to the second test at the Herald Theatre in Aotea Square. Fortunately, the ticket was supplied by Joseph Campbell, and it's got Johnny Brough playing a 1953 South African and New Zealand cricket team. He plays every character.
Wow.
And sometimes you go to a theatre and you just get a bit kind of trapped and you don't really like it and you've got to endure the whole play. But this, I was, from the moment he walked on stage to the moment he left, I sat there encapsulated, kind of enthralled by this play. And
that's got to be a good thing, because
it's on tonight and tomorrow night, and I just recommend everybody go and see it.
If I know one thing about you, short attention span, so...
Yeah, ADHD.
Yeah.
So when it goes past for an hour and a quarter, hour and a half, or whatever it was, and I'm still there, and I haven't moved in my seat, that's a good sign.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, today we're doing something a little bit different on the show. We've welcomed in a guest, a luxury spirits ambassador from Appleton Estate Rum. Joining us today, it's Frankie Walker. G'day there to you, Frankie.
Morning.
He's all branded up as well in a T-shirt. He is really
wearing
the
a T-shirt.
true ambassador.
I got this in Jamaica when I was over there just over a year ago. So, got to wear it with
product
pride.
placement here.
Okay. Well, so the fact that you've been to Jamaica and everything will tell us a little bit about your involvement, I suppose, with the process of actually getting this to market. A 30-year-old bottle of Appleton Estate rum.
That's right.
Frankie, what is special about this?
Well, I mean, the clue is in the title, really. 30-year-old Appleton Estate. One thing about rum is that rum comes from a lot of different countries. Cuba, Dominican Republic, the Caribbean, which is a big piece of the world.
Yeah.
Rules are slightly different across the Caribbean. So 30 years on our bottle means something different in Jamaica, which is where Appleton Estate is from, than, say, a Cuban rum. So law in Jamaica, exactly the same as in Scotland for whiskey. Minimum age of any rum in that bottle has to be at least 30 years old.
Isn't it amazing that there's actual laws about this?
Yeah, well, there have to be. Consumers need to know what they're drinking. But I think it is confusing in the world of rum. But one thing to say, there ain't a lot of 30-year-old rum out there. I mean, there's no commercially available 30-year-old rum. There's very little of this. This is an extremely limited edition. If you understand a little bit about what it takes to get a barrel of rum that was laid down 30 years ago to the current day, you'll appreciate the kind of cost and the effort involved. Evaporation happens very quickly in the Caribbean. So in Scotland, you lose about 2% of the spirit a year. In Scotland, for example, with whiskey.
Same with wine.
Yeah, and in Jamaica, you lose 6%. They call it the angel share. And in Jamaica, they say they have very, very happy angels.
Those damn angels.
You can't go into the barreling warehouse. You're not allowed to go into the barreling warehouse for more than 4 or 5 minutes in the Nassau Valley at the Appleton Estate, because the air is thick.
Right, okay.
With vapour. People go in there, fall asleep, have amazing rum-based dreams, and then wake up 3 hours later. So you have to be very careful. So it takes.
So it's a productivity kind of rule rather than anything else.
Absolutely. So you lay down. Say you have 10 barrels in year one, all completely full. At the end of year one, 6% have gone. There's 94%. Yeah. Year two, they take another 6%, so you're 88%. Yeah. It's like compound interest. You don't need to be brilliant at maths to work out that 30 years later, you need a shed load of rum even to get anything out.
Yeah. So is this the first time the Appletons have brought out anything like this?
There have been some other rare and unusual bottlings. I think this is the oldest to date, though. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Is there not been a market for anything like that?
Well, there's definitely a market. I mean,
there is now. We've created one.
Yeah, I think it's really true. It's our generation. Through whiskey, through cognac, and now into rum, we're really demanding older and rarer bottlings. But 30 years ago, laying rum down for any more than a short period of time is just a waste of money. It's a waste of rum, but we've really created a market. So I think for the future, we're going to see a lot more, which is great. We're going to see older, rarer bottlings.
So did someone 30 years ago have the foresight to put this away, or was it a few forgotten casks?
There's a few different rumours about the Appleton 30-year-old. I'm finding it quite hard to clear it up. I think it was a mistake. I think it's possibly a mistake. Some rum that got forgotten about, that got left behind, and now we're sort of fortuitous enough to be reaping the rewards.
Rum has never been that popular up until fairly recently. So I mean, you've got the chance, for me, in my mind, I know you're going to just kind of like disprove what I'm just about to say, that when it's not popular, you've still got all these barrels sitting out there that you haven't sold. So by accident and default rather than design, you've got kind of like possibly 30-year-old rum sitting out the back.
Well, rum's a big I mean, that's a very big statement. Rum's a big category. Rum has been epically popular throughout the ages. I mean, rum has founded some of our most significant global nations. It's
preserved some of them as well.
It's preserved them. It's started wars. It's changed. It's changed the landscape of the world. We could talk about rum history for a long time.
Yeah.
But in terms of very old rums, sipping rums that rival the best cognacs, the best whiskies, the best single malts out there, certainly that's a relatively new phenomenon.
Wammo will be able to tell you about the whiskey comparison.
Because
I'll be able to tell you about the cognac.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Because most people's experiences of rum are I suppose, of the cheaper variety.
Absolutely.
You know, the classic rum and coke.
I think if you took a room of 100 people in this country, and I think you could apply it. You know, I'm not from New Zealand originally. I'm from the UK, but you could apply it to pretty much any country in the Western
Actually,
world.
I'm outnumbered here, I think, in that state.
If you got a room of 100 people, probably 95% of them, if you said, what do you think of when you think of rum? They'd say dark rum or Karuba. I mean, Karuba's pretty much synonymous with dark rum in this country.
I'd say pirates. That's the
or
first thing
pirates.
that jumps to mind when I think rum.
Yeah.
Rum and coke.
Yep,
those are really the associations. So, thing to understand, there are a few different types of rum. Dark rum, which you're very dark in colour, very full flavoured. That's because they add caramel. So you age some rum in barrels, then you add caramel to it. That's what creates that fizz when you put coke in. Caramel renders rum relatively unmixable. You know, it wants to hang out with coke, maybe a bit of ginger beer, ginger ale. That's about it. Golden rum, of which, you know, that's where Appleton 30-year-old and all the Appleton's rum sit in the golden rum category. That's like a whole different universe of rums that can be sipped, that can be mixed, that can be played with.
We have Platino and Methuselah rum at the store. Yeah, and they are sublime.
Now, I know you've had the bottle open, and it's really sort of permeating the air and here in the Kiwi studio. It's very
just
nice,
going to taste
beautiful.
it.
Yeah, so let's.
Did you want to try some?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Sure, we have to do
I
that.
am down on bended knee.
This is one of my favourite noises in the world. So hang on, a little bit of reverend hush here.
See, that's the sound of romance,
isn't it?
Unlike when you're undoing a screw cap wine bottle.
Yeah, we're losing something with the screw caps, aren't we?
Now, I appreciate it's a little bit early, and I do want obviously I do want us to enjoy this rum, and you should definitely drink it neat. I tried a little bit last night just to make sure it's okay, and it's absolutely fine, just so you know. But I did bring in my partner, Miss Emma Brown, has been baking.
This is so nice.
And this is such the best china in the Kiwi FM studio. We have this is Miss Emma Brown's amazing banana cake. Now, one of the things about Jamaican rum is you do get like a little bit of a banana top note, a little bit. Appleton Estate rum, you get lots of nice orange and spice, but try it on its own, but then try it with the cake, because it is awesome. I promise you. I had this after dinner last night. Not the whole of that bottle, but you know.
Yeah. All right.
Thing about Jamaican rum, if you take the spectrum of rums from Cuba, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaican rum right at the full-bodied end of the scale.
Right, okay.
So lots of pot still spirit in there, very fruity, spicy. I mean,
get kind of that Christmas cake, but also a bit of vanilla.
Absolutely, and this is really where you can taste this and really bring your expertise as someone who's into wine to the fore, because it's, you know, tasting and appreciating and enjoying a good spirit is just like a great glass of wine, you know. Yeah. So you might want to shout out some of the things that you get on the flavour.
So I get a bit of vanilla. I get definitely that kind of mum's Christmas cake. If your mum made a Christmas cake like mine.
And something.
I get a sweet molasses type. Note on that as well.
You've definitely got the cask in there as well. There's something slightly woody to
absolutely.
it.
I mean, 30 years spent in oak. You're going to get vanillins from the oak. You're going to get some toast. You're going to get, just like a whiskey, you might get some leather, some char, a little bit of char grill maybe.
Jeez, that's beautifully balanced for me. You don't get that really burning sensation that you do from some quite harsh lower end.
There's no burn there at all.
No.
But the thing that I love about this rum is that it's not shy and retiring at all. It's a big, gutsy rum, and I honestly don't think anyone else could make that rum. It's absolutely classically Appleton Estate. really robust, fruity, spicy, all the things you were talking about.
Frankie, we do have to wrap this up in 1 minute.
Sure.
How much does a bottle of this go for?
Well, there's only 30 bottles available for New Zealand.
Yeah.
There's only 1,000 bottles available on the planet.
Wow.
And once they're gone, they're gone. We couldn't think of a really fair way of selling them because more people want to buy them than that we have bottles. So we've run it on a ballot basis. So currently we're taking applications to an application to buy the bottle. We have 30 bottles on sale. Currently have about 95 applications. It's $1,000 a bottle. It ain't cheap, but this is a very rare product we're talking about. But if you are successful with your $1,000, you also get dinner for two at Callagher Estate in a couple of weeks. Jeff Scott from Vinnie's is cooking an amazing rum-inspired dinner menu. I'm matching it with Appleton Estate cocktails. We get to try the 30-year-old, and at the end of the night, you take your 30-year-old home. So,
Frankie Walker, Luxury Spirits Ambassador for Appleton Estate, and of course